Hi, today I'm talking about 5 things that may be stealing your joy. My name is Ilevbare. I'm a best-selling author, speaker, leadership and lifestyle coach. Number 1 is comparing yourself to others. I've realized that in the world we live where social media is all around us, there is a tendency to always compare yourself to that next person and that next person. Maybe someone you grew up with, maybe someone you went to school with, maybe someone that you work with or you met along the way. It's very important to understand that when you keep comparing yourself to others, you deprive yourself of the joy and satisfaction of just being you. God made you you. You were beautiful. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. Your fingerprints are exactly yours. So if you want to balance that and make sure that you enjoy the life that God has given, I encourage you to stop comparing yourself to others. Every time you catch yourself doing it, take a deep breath and tell yourself, I am beautiful, I am uniquely made, and I love being me. Number 2 is worrying about things that you cannot control. There is a circle of influence, which is where we can control certain things that happen to us. But there is also the circle of concern, where to an extent you cannot control what's happening to you. When you keep worrying about things that you cannot control, you deprive yourself of joy and happiness that come from everything that God has given. I want to encourage you, every time you're going through stuff and you'll find yourself worrying about it, ask yourself, is this in my circle of influence right now? Or is this in my circle of control? So for example, when you have something on your mind, let's say there is no money in your pocket or there's no money to run your business. One of the questions you can ask yourself is there something I can do about it right now? And that may be coming up with business ideas to help you bring more money into your business, or you may be talking to a particular person who is doing well in their business and you can ask them how they're doing. But there may be other things that are outside your control, like who will be the president of Nigeria tomorrow? Duh! You may know it, you may not know it, but you know what? You cannot control that. So worrying about that is like focusing on things that are beyond your circle of influence. If you want to expand your joy and you want to live a life that is happy and that is within the things that you can control, focus on what you know is in your circle of influence. And with that, you live a happy and joyous life. Number 3 is ignoring the present. Have you ever found yourself just get into your car, driving to work or driving to your place of business, and in between the time you left the house and the time you got to work or to wherever you were going, you probably didn't notice all the things that were along your way? That happens to me a lot. In fact, many times I'm wondering, how did I get here? I'm just pressing the accelerator and the brakes. I turn left, I turn right, and I get to where I'm going. But you know what? We are losing a lot of essence when we don't focus on the present. Ignoring the present could be stealing your joy. What is it about your environment? What is it about your life right now that you are simply ignoring? Think about it for a minute. The air you're breathing in right now, do you appreciate it? There are many people in the hospital who have no clue of where to get the next oxygen from. So when you think about it, are you ignoring the present? Or are you focusing on the things, the little things of everyday life that matter? For example, having the breath in your nostrils, having your hands, having your legs, having your eyes if you have that, being able to find family and friends that surround you. These are little things of life, but you know what? They matter. They make you feel the joy. They make you feel the happiness. They make you feel like there is something to look forward to. I encourage you, the next time you get into your car, think about the things that are around you. Like the traffic warden I saw the other day who was just dancing on the road. It was amazing how she had such a hectic job, but yet she made it a lot of fun. Like maybe the next person who is selling something just by the roadside, or maybe a stranger that you might be a help to. Focus on the present, and with that, it would help you to live a joyous life. Number 4, reliving the regrets of the past. Just like me, I'm sure there are certain things in your past when you look back, you probably feel like closing your eyes or just ignoring it. When you relieve the regrets of the past, you don't give way to enjoying the present. There are many things in your past that you did either when you had no clue, or maybe you just had some friends who influenced you into doing some of those negative things. And when you think about it now, you wish you could roll back the clock. Well, guess what? We can't roll back time. But what we have is to enjoy what God has given us today. So if by adventure you are still reliving the regrets of the past, I want you to start to forgive yourself. I want you to start to forgive whoever it is that hurt you. I want you to start by letting go of those regrets of the past. Because if you keep holding on to them, it will restrict you from moving forward and having a great life. A very simple exercise you can do when you wake up in the morning. Just breathe in, breathe out, and tell yourself, I forgive myself for XYZ. I forgive myself for this. I forgive myself for that. I forgive that person for doing this to me. I forgive that person for not even doing this to me. When you do that ritual every morning, what you're doing is you're releasing all these negative emotions and you're allowing endorphins to generate from your brain cells. And with that, it goes into your entire system and it creates a feeling of joy and happiness. Try it out and tell me how it makes you feel. Number 5 is worrying when you should be praying. There are many things that we worry about in life. Some of them are within your control. Some of them are not. Some of them are things that haven't even happened. But you know, our brain just has a way of palmutating and bringing up 5,000 ways in which something could end up. Many times they don't come to pass. So if you want to enjoy the life that God has given you today and make sure that you're living a joyous life, instead of worrying, pray. Worrying is like chewing gum. You're thinking about that situation over and over in your mind. Anytime you catch yourself worrying, I want you to snap out of it. Switch to praying instead. Switch to praising instead. Find your journal. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for. What that does is when you start to think about 3 things that you're grateful for, it might be tough at first, but if you find number 1, I assure you in no time you would find number 2 and you would find number 3. And when you think about those things, it will help you to switch from worrying to praying. The next time you find yourself worrying about something, I want to encourage you to pray. So the next time you find yourself worrying about things that are stealing your joy, I want you to remember that life is meant to be enjoyed and not endured. So go about your day feeling great about what God has given. Let the joy of the Lord, let it be your strength. I'll see you again next time.